Greetings, everyone. Lisa here. If you go to sleep at night and feel like you've done something, more than likely you have. We consider this that you work for the army of the Lord or you're working for the bad guys. Either way, we're speaking to you. These theorems are based on Dolores Cannon's work, reading the Bible, and my own personal experiences. And if you add to that just that you study mythology and ancient alien theory, that helped me with the premises of the dream time. But mostly it's been my personal experiences that have guided this trajectory. Also, in my lifetime, you know, in my personal opinion, there is God. We live life. Some of us are elders and we can share our experiences. When I married my first husband, I had a significant warning. No, don't do this. No. And it really did ruin my life. So, the first husband, somehow connected to the second husband, did a continuation of harassment to me. And when I walked out of that relationship, I decided I need to listen to that small, still voice. So, hence, I'm out here talking to you. I know there's people who don't like it, and that's kind of their problem. Or if you're one of the people who don't like it, why are you listening? They listen to me. The enemy listens, which is hysterical to me, because if you listen, I'm not out there in your house making you listen. And you got the numbers pulled back on my channel. So what more do you want from me? I don't know. Anyway, I had an interesting experience last night. Yesterday I was very angry. This specific coven group has been attacking me, and it's a lot of people. And then I watched a tarot reader talk about being alien abducted. I did a card reading. I don't know if that person will ever see my channel, but yes, you were abducted, and it's just kind of daily maintenance. When anybody starts delving in tarot cards, psychism, you're in effect operating within the dream time. It's the void between, the spaces in between, and the dream time is a form of technology, okay? I've explained it on other videos of mine how it works, but we're going to move on from there. Anyway, I've been attacked. There is a court case going on. All the tarot readers across the board, good or bad, they're all picking up on that energy. November 5th is the next full moon. I don't follow astrology. My personal opinion on it is this. When you're born, it's a screenshot where you were in alignment with the stars. If you have a fate or a destiny that God wants for you, it's going to happen no matter how the stars align. When I pull the cards, I won't speak about astrology because the cards speak of energy and motivation. As the planets align on a daily basis, they can influence or not influence. If you allow that to be, you're so ultra sensitive, I don't necessarily think that's a good thing. Okay? Energy is. It's around us all the time. So you either learn to transmute, work with, and for me, I feel it, okay? I feel it more than I have to know. You can't always know everything. And a lot of the times, God's asking us to let go of the reins. I think the astrology is more important for them up there as they work through space and time. There's only really a handful of people who really know how to work space and time walking planet Earth. Now, there are people here, there are blue entities already here, checking things out and seeing where things actually stand. And unfortunately, it's not good, people. Planet Earth, as you can see, like if you watch these miscreants on TV and stuff, it's not all good. Mythology's been twisted. History's been twisted. Religion is too ossified to where people want to make it to fight over. And that isn't the way of. Technology's been given, and technology's being ill-used. I.e., the people who think they're gods. People who tell you, you take classes so somebody can tell you there's no such thing as sin, and that believing in sin is a limiting belief. That's a real bad paradigm to get stuck into, okay? Because there are consequences. And our 10 Commandments is a very small fraction of universal law. Spirit would like to reset the whole damn thing because we actually live on a planet that's created. I call it the biodome. It's got all the technology we need running and flowing naturally. It's in the wind, it's in the trees, blades of grass, butterflies, rivers, streams, rain, clouds. If you know how to work that stuff, you can communicate, okay? The web. And there is a web being woven of electronics. Now, in my personal case, the electronics, because people with a lot of zeros in their bank accounts actually believe that they can do crime and they won't get caught. And for the most part, the justice system serves them. It serves them very well. They can be brought up on charges, get out on bail, and then continue on their merry ways. And they got lawyers, and they can drag it out and essentially pay off people and go on doing what they do. This is a corrupt system we live in. As there is a court case in which my name, Lisa Pacini, comes up, and I'm not there to represent myself. I just heard my brother say that I'm a drug addict. So I got on between the spaces in between and said, a drug addict of what, pray tell? Yes, I smoke weed. Not every day. Does that make me an addict? My ex-husband did heinous things to my physical body. I'm in a lot of pain. Is it a crime to have a gummy so I can move forward and keep a smile on my face? Anyway, yesterday I got angry with God, and I'm not going to tell you all the things I said and did to him. But I'm going to read some words that came at the end. Imagine, if you will, you're married and you have an argument with your spouse. And then in the Bible, it does say don't go to bed angry with your spouse, right? So that's kind of what God and I did. I was angry during the day, but at night we worked some things out. And I wrote down words. And I'm going to share them with you. I raised my fist to the great high God yesterday. I did that and more. I cut him with my machete and hurt him enough. I heard the angels cry. They cried and lamented for so long. It was truly annoying. So I asked, "What is this crying and lamenting for?" "You cut God and he's hurt. He is crying." I sighed and hung my head. "My Lord, are you truly injured?" He nodded on his throne of glory, great wings outstretched, in his glory, yet shrouded. Even as an artist, if I tried to portray the image, it would be faulty. So from my heart, I send him my light to heal him. "Are you healed, Lord?" I asked. He nodded. I apologized. "I apologize, Lord, for lashing out in anguish." Then I explained every nuance of my situation. And at the end, I asked if he forgave me. "Yes," he said. And then he laughed. To hear God laugh is quite pleasurable. Then he gave me an image in my head. A landscape my son-in-law painted. Forgive me, but I'm going to go get that picture because it's quite... Okay, my son-in-law is very personal, so maybe I shouldn't. Picture, if you will, a beautiful pastoral green setting of hills with rocks like you'd see over in England, little cairns and such. And he had a little creature with a hat, like a Gandalf hat, with a staff, walking amongst that, with a beautiful sky and puffy clouds. He gave me that image, a landscape my son-in-law painted, and a small person, animated version of a person, like in a video game, leaving a building and going to this pastoral setting, leaving from population and roaming that pastoral setting. And he was out there just roaming. That character, critter type person, kept wandering alone. And it went on for quite some time. Finally, I laughed, and God laughed with me. I got lost. I got lost in that landscape. Real lost, wandering alone. And he is right. The background and the NPCs, they aren't unpleasant for the most part. It reminded me of Abraham and the Jews walking for 40 years in the wilderness. Now I'm going to tangentialize here. That story, I do believe somewhere out there on YouTube is a video of somebody talking about that piece of biblical scripture, on how from where they started in Egypt to where they were heading to would only have taken a month or two, maybe 3 at the most, but for 40 years. And seriously, the math doesn't equate. So the only thing I can think is, metaphorically, maybe it took 40 years is enough for a generation to die out and a new generation to be put in its place. A generation that didn't know the way of Egypt. And maybe they were delayed because there were people having babies, people were dying. And like I said, 40 years is a lot can change in the whole paradigm of the way people think. After all, I'm 68 years old, and some of you out there say, man, that's sick. And for me, it's like sick. Oh, something's wrong. But y'all think that's good, right? So the generations change thought processes, how we speak, how we look at things. So maybe the Jews had to wander for that long in the wilderness because they needed to change their mindset. And so God showed me I'm alone walking in this. If you were to see where I live, my daughter and I complain about it because basically we're city folks. And I'm not going to even go there. But we're out in the sticks, sort of. But it's a pretty pastoral background. Wandering alone in this beautiful setting. Okay? So somewhere in my mind, my mental paradigm needs to change, is what God was showing me. And he reminded me of Abraham and the Jews. Abraham didn't want to do what he had to do. Okay? And that's all I'm going to say about that. Going through the wilderness to discard the past, shed some skin, and alleviate the pain. Because trust me, when I left my second ex, I lost my why. And it's been painful. I've been grieving. I don't have a husband, I don't have a home, and I don't have my own personal family, nor my own personal space to express myself. So I have some significant pain to alleviate. So this past year has been about that. It's also been about dealing with rejection. And let me tell you, if you walked out of a situation in your lifetime where witchcraft was being done upon you, humiliation and rejection is something they just, revel in. Okay? So you're not alone. They want you to feel bad about yourself at all costs, no matter who you are. That's what they do best. But we won't dwell on that. My God is so open to me, he lets me shake my fist at him. I am glad that I am close to him and that he forgives me with a lesson. I hope you feel close enough to God to share your heart's emotions with him. He is there and he will listen. And it's better than taking it out on others. Sometimes if you hold stuff in too long, it creates demons within you. So share your heart. They do listen. Then after that whole exchange, this is really fascinating, I closed my eyes in meditation and I saw Lady Chindi. She came to visit me. Her clothing was amazing. She wore a golden hat. Her garments were gold and a deep burgundy. She wore a veil mask over her nose and lower part of her face, and I only saw her eyes, a humble face. She wanted me to tell you all, thank you, for she showed me many people holding umbrellas. And here they want me to talk about the symbology of the umbrella, which is this is so fascinating. I almost want to start crying. Umbrellas are symbol of spiritual protection. So many of you from around the world have been speaking words of spiritual protection over me. Thank you. Thank you so much. It means more to me than words can say, and it's truly heartfelt. Lady Chindi also told me that I have played some role of protection and renewal out there in the dreamtime space to you. I really don't know half of the stuff that I do. I see a face and I respond. In real life, I sometimes will shout out weird stuff because as I'm awake, I can still enter the dream time. And people will look at me as if it's strange. However, that's the nature of the beast. So to all of you who have prayed over me, thank you so much. Your prayers are very much appreciated. And I find it very interesting that Lady Chindi came and spoke to show me you all. And I saw you all with umbrellas. I happen to be watching a TV show that's on Netflix called Under the Queen's Umbrella. To the lady who plays the queen, you are amazing. That show really touches me. What a woman will do to fight to keep her family intact and to protect her children and to love her children no matter how they are. It would be a good show for anybody who's raising children to watch, as sometimes in our particular lives, we want our children to be like us, but they're not always that way. God gives us people to raise. And one of the greatest things about being a parent is helping encourage your child to be who they're supposed to be. Anyway, thank you for being in that TV show. It's been speaking to me. And to all of you who protect me, thank you as well. Now I have some messages. Sergeant Michael of the shoes has had his heart weighed. Yay, Michael. And I do believe the guy who plays Doctor Strange has actually been fighting and working through the shadows and fighting warlocks in the Dreamtime. Now, I read this card on Arcadia Speaks. I'm going to put the link in the description box. It talks about how to close our crown chakra and protect ourselves. Okay? This is out of the Pegasus Oracle deck. I don't have the box. Descending Pegasus of the Violet Light. So if you go to Arcadia Speaks, at the end of the reading, I read from the book on this. I'm not going to do it again. And that reading talks about this is a time to create. The next full moon is on November the 5th. And the other message is on the 1st of November, I think, the unfathomable something unfathomable might come out. Now, to go with this message, I happened to listen to a video about the blue star and ancient Hopi Indian prophecy. I'm going to put the link to that in the description box as well, as that mythology I feel is very important at this time. And then I'm also going to put a link to one of I Be Knowing Tarot's readings, as I think she's on point with some of the stuff that's going on in the court case that we all refer to. Anyway, thank you for listening. If you did, you are appreciated more than you ever could possibly know. Someday my numbers will show the actual numerical work, I hope. And I want you all to remember, I think you're amazing, and I absolutely do love you. Bye now.